While most stars fade with time, a rare few have simply kept shining, well into their 90s and beyond. They've outlived empires, witnessed Hollywood's golden age, and seen the world change in ways no script could predict. In this video, we're celebrating 15 legendary entertainers who are not just still with us, but are marching toward 101 with grace, grit, and unforgettable legacies. These icons have stories that stretch across a century, and they're still making history. June Lockhart, 100 years old. Born into a family where the spotlight was already shining bright, June Lockhart inherited more than just her parents' talent. She inherited their love for the craft that would define her century-long journey through entertainment. The daughter of accomplished actors Jean and Kathleen Lockhart, June made her debut alongside her parents in the 1938 film version of A Christmas Carol when she was just a teenager. What started as a family affair would blossom into a career that would span multiple generations of television viewers, making her a household name across different eras of American entertainment. Her early start in Hollywood came at a time when the industry was still finding its voice, and she would grow alongside it, adapting to every technological change and cultural shift that came her way. The magic of June Lockhart's career lies not just in her longevity, but in her ability to become America's sweetheart mother figure across two iconic television series. As Ruth Martin on the 1950s CBS series Lassie, she embodied the perfect suburban mother, guiding young Timmy through adventures with his faithful colleague companion. But Lockhart proved her range when she traded her earthbound kitchen for the cosmic unknown as Dr. Maureen Robinson in Lost in Space, which captivated audiences from 1965 to 1968. Her cameo appearance in the 1998 Lost in Space film served as a beautiful tribute to her original role, proving that some stars never truly fade, they just find new ways to shine. Eva Marie Saint, 100 years old. The journey from NBC page to Academy Award winner reads like a Hollywood fairy tale. But for Eva Marie Saint, it was simply the natural progression of unwavering dedication and exceptional talent. Her first brush with fame came in 1946 when she appeared on NBC's Campus Hoopla, a modest beginning that would lead to one of the most respected careers in film history. Its breakthrough moment arrived when she was cast opposite Marlon Brando in On the Waterfront in 1954, a performance so powerful that it earned her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. This wasn't just recognition of her acting ability, it was Hollywood's acknowledgement that a new kind of leading lady had arrived, one who could match the intensity and authenticity that the greatest actors of her generation demanded from their scene partners. When Alfred Hitchcock selected her for North by Northwest, he wasn't just choosing another pretty face for his thriller, he was recognizing an actress who could bring depth and intelligence to what could have been a thankless role. Saint's portrayal alongside Cary Grant in this masterpiece showcased her ability to be both vulnerable and strong, mysterious yet trustworthy, proving that she could navigate the complex emotional landscape that Hitchcock's films demanded. Throughout her career, she has never truly stepped away from the craft that defined her, even in recent years, taking on roles in Winter's Tale in 2014 and providing voice work for The Legend of Korra. Her approach to acting has always been about finding the truth in every character, whether she's playing a concerned girlfriend in a gritty crime drama or lending her voice to an animated series, proving that great acting transcends genre and medium. Maria Riva, 100 years old, growing up as the daughter of Marlene Dietrich, meant living in the shadow of one of Hollywood's most enigmatic and powerful stars. But Maria Riva carved out her own path through the entertainment industry with remarkable determination and grace. Born Maria Elizabeth Sieber, she made her screen debut at the tender age of 9 in The Scarlet Empress in 1934, playing a young Catherine the Great in a film that showcased the grandeur and drama that would characterize much of her early exposure to cinema. This early experience on set gave her insights into the filmmaking process that most actors never receive. Watching her legendary mother work with some of the greatest directors of the Golden Age while learning the craft herself. Her career, spanning an incredible 9 decades, began during the height of Hollywood's studio system and continued through the revolutionary changes that television would bring to entertainment. Maria Riva's most significant contribution to entertainment history came during the pioneering days of television, when she became one of the first stars of early kinescope-era programming at CBS in the 1950s. Working in television during this period required a special kind of bravery and adaptability, as the medium was still experimental and the technology was constantly evolving. Her performances on series like Suspense helped establish the dramatic possibilities of television, proving that the small screen could deliver the same emotional impact as film or theater. But perhaps her most lasting legacy comes from her 1992 memoir, where she provided an intimate and unflinching look at life with one of Hollywood's most complex personalities, James Hong, 99 years old. In an industry where Asian American representation was nearly non-existent for decades, James Hong didn't just break barriers, he built bridges that future generations would cross to find their own success in Hollywood. With over 600 roles to his credit, Hong's career reads like a masterclass in versatility and persistence, spanning everything from serious dramas to action films to comedies. But his impact extends far beyond his impressive filmography. As co-founder of the East-West Players, one of the first Asian American theater groups, Hong helped create opportunities for performers who had been shut out of mainstream entertainment for far too long. This wasn't just about getting more Asian faces on screen, it was about changing the entire conversation around representation and authenticity in storytelling, ensuring that Asian American stories would be told by Asian American voices. What makes James Hong's career so remarkable is how he managed to maintain his dignity and artistic integrity while working within a system that often reduced Asian actors to stereotypical roles. Rather than turn down work that might seem limiting, Hong approached every role as an opportunity to bring humanity and depth to characters that lesser actors might have played as caricatures. Mel Brooks, 99 years old. From the streets of Brooklyn to the heights of Hollywood comedy, Mel Brooks has spent nearly a century proving that laughter truly is the best medicine, especially when it's delivered with perfect timing and fearless imagination. Growing up in New York, Brooks showed early signs of his musical and comedic talents, learning piano and drums, while developing the quick wit that would make him one of America's most beloved entertainers. His experience serving in World War II added depth to his comedic perspective, giving him material and insights that would inform his work for decades to come. After the war, he honed his skills in the Catskills Resort Circuit, that legendary training ground for Jewish comedians, before making his mark in television as co-creator of Get Smart, proving that his comedy could work across different mediums and formats. When he wrote and directed The Producers, he wasn't just making a movie, he was creating a new template for comedy that would influence generations of filmmakers. The film's initial lukewarm reception at the box office only made his Academy Award for Best Screenplay more meaningful, proving that sometimes the best art takes time to find its audience. His decades-long friendship with Carl Reiner, which lasted until Reiner's death in 2020, epitomized the collaborative spirit that made both men legends as they spent their golden years trading jokes and wisdom with the enthusiasm of young comedians just starting out. Dick Van Dyke, 99 years old. Dick Van Dyke's path to stardom began with disappointment when he was repeatedly turned away from military service for being too thin, only to find his calling as a radio announcer and entertainer with the U.S. Army Air Forces. This early experience with radio broadcasting gave him skills that would serve him throughout his career, teaching him how to connect with audiences using only his voice and personality. After leaving the military in 1946, he continued working in radio as a DJ, while exploring opportunities in the emerging medium of television, slowly building the foundation for what would become one of the most enduring careers in American entertainment. Dick Van Dyke's breakthrough on Broadway in Bye Bye Birdie in 1960 proved that his talents extended far beyond radio and early television, earning him a Tony Award and setting the stage for his transition to the small screen with The Dick Van Dyke Show. This CBS series, which ran from 1961 to 1966, didn't just make him a household name, it redefined what television comedy could be, combining physical comedy with sophisticated writing and genuine character development. His subsequent film career brought him into the realm of movie musicals with iconic roles in Mary Poppins and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, where his dancing and singing abilities delighted audiences and proved his versatility as a performer. Even as he approaches his 100th birthday, Van Dyke continues to make occasional film appearances, demonstrating that true entertainers never really retire. They just find new ways to bring joy to their audiences. Lee Grant, 99 years old. The story of Lee Grant's career reads like an epic novel of triumph, adversity, and ultimate vindication, beginning with her debut at the Metropolitan Opera in Laura Colo when she was just a child in 1931. Her early training in ballet at prestigious institutions, including Juilliard, gave her a foundation in performance that would serve her throughout her multifaceted career as actress, director, and documentarian. Grant's professional stage debut came in 1944 as an understudy in Oklahoma, marking the beginning of a journey that would see her nominated for her first Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress after her film debut in Detective Story in 1951. However, just as her career was gaining momentum, she faced one of Hollywood's darkest chapters when she was blacklisted in 1952, reportedly due to her marriage to Arnold Manoff and her associations with other blacklisted performers. The 12 years that Lee Grant spent unable to work in Hollywood could have ended her career permanently, but instead they seemed to fuel her determination and deepen her artistic perspective. When she returned to prominence in the 1960s, she brought a maturity and depth to her performances that elevated every project she touched, with memorable roles in Valley of the Dolls and In the Heat of the Night, showcasing her range and resilience. At nearly 100 years old, Grant's career stands as proof that talent, when combined with principle and perseverance, can overcome even the most unfair obstacles. William Daniels, 98 years old. From radio performer to television teacher, William Daniels has crafted a career that spans generations and mediums while maintaining a distinctive presence that makes him instantly recognizable to audiences across different decades. His early start in entertainment came through work with his sister on the Nick Kenny Children's Show on radio, where he learned the fundamentals of connecting with audiences through performance. This foundation in radio work prepared him for a distinguished stage career that included roles in significant productions like the original staging of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, where he demonstrated his ability to handle complex, dramatic material. However, it was his portrayal of Founding Father John Adams in the Broadway musical 1776 that would define much of his career. At 98, Daniels continues to enjoy life with his wife Bonnie Bartlett, attending fan conventions where young adults who grew up watching him dispense wisdom on television can thank him in person for the lessons his character taught them about life, learning, and growing up. Lisa Liu, 97 years old. The distinction of being the only person to hold membership in both the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and the Hollywood Foreign Press Association speaks to Lisa Liu's unique position in the entertainment industry as both an insider and a bridge between cultures. Born in Beijing in 1927, Liu's journey to Hollywood began with small television roles and work as a bilingual journalist for Voice of America, experiences that gave her insights into both American and international perspectives on storytelling. Her early film work in the 1960s, including roles alongside James Stewart in The Mountain Road and recurring appearances with Richard Boone in Have Gun Will Travel, established her as a reliable and talented performer who could handle both dramatic and action-oriented material with equal skill. What sets Lisa Liu apart from many of her contemporaries is her strategic decision to seek more substantial roles in Hong Kong and Taiwan when Hollywood's opportunities proved limited. The portrayal of Taoist Empress Cixi in two different productions, first in Taiwan's The Empress Taoist in 1975, then for Bernardo Bertolucci in the internationally acclaimed The Last Emperor in 1987, demonstrated her ability to bring historical figures to life with both authority and nuance. These roles weren't just acting assignments, they were opportunities to represent Chinese culture and history to global audiences with dignity and authenticity. Her recent work as Amar in Crazy Rich Asians proves that her career has come full circle, as she now plays matriarchal roles that draw upon decades of experience while introducing her to new audiences who appreciate both her gravitas and her warmth. Paul Dooley, 97 years old. Paul Dooley's original dream of becoming a cartoonist gave him an artist's eye for detail and character observation that would prove invaluable when he eventually found his calling in performance. His career, which began with New York theater groups in the 1950s, demonstrates the value of starting with solid fundamentals and building slowly toward larger opportunities. Dooley's work with director Robert Altman in films like A Wedding and Popeye, where he played the memorable Wimpy, showcased his ability to bring depth and humanity to supporting roles that could easily have been one-dimensional in less capable hands. The genius of Paul Dooley's career lies in his ability to embody the American father figure in all its complexity, from the cranky dad in Breaking Away to the more approachable father in 16 Candles, proving that character actors can have as much impact as leading men when they bring genuine understanding to their roles. His marriage to Winnie Holzman, co-writer of the Broadway version of Wicked, has created a true artistic partnership that culminated in their collaboration on Assisted Living, a play they wrote together and performed at the Odyssey Theatre in 2013, with each of them taking on two roles. Marion Ross, 96 years old, the daughter of an ambitious Irish-Canadian schoolteacher, Marion Ross inherited her mother's drive and determination, channeling it into a career that would make her one of television's most beloved maternal figures. Her journey began early when Paramount Pictures recognized her talent and signed her to a contract at just 23 years old, launching what would become decades of steady work in both film and television. However, like many actors, Ross faced challenging periods, particularly during the late 1960s when professional opportunities dried up, just as her personal life was falling apart due to a difficult divorce. These struggles could have ended her career, but they instead prepared her for the role that would define her legacy and bring her into millions of American homes as the perfect television mother. When Marion Ross accepted the role of Marion Cunningham in Happy Days in 1974, she couldn't have predicted that this character would become her career-defining performance, spanning all 11 seasons of the beloved sitcom. Initially, winning over her on-screen husband, Tom Bosley, proved challenging, but Ross' natural warmth and comedic timing eventually created the perfect chemistry needed for television's ideal married couple. Beyond the cameras, Ross found joy in the cast's softball team, which traveled internationally for competitions, creating real friendships that lasted long after the show ended. Her commitment to her craft and her castmates was evident when she joined other Happy Days actors in 2011 to file a lawsuit against CBS and Paramount over unpaid revenue from DVD sales and merchandise, a battle they won through settlement. Now happily retired in Cardiff by the sea, Ross represents the rare actor who knew when to step away from the spotlight, choosing contentment over continued fame, and proving that sometimes the greatest success comes from knowing when you've achieved enough. Clint Eastwood, 95 years old. Few figures in cinema history have wielded as much influence both in front of and behind the camera as Clint Eastwood, whose career has spanned over 6 decades of groundbreaking filmmaking and unforgettable performances. Being as the mysterious man with no name in Sergio Leone's spaghetti westerns, Eastwood redefined what it meant to be a movie hero, bringing a quiet intensity and moral ambiguity to roles that had traditionally been black and white. His iconic squint and economical dialogue delivery became his trademark, but it was his intelligence as a performer that allowed him to transition seamlessly from westerns to action films, always bringing depth to characters that could have been simple archetypes. This foundation as an actor gave him the credibility and understanding needed to step behind the camera, where he would prove that his artistic vision extended far beyond performing. As a director and producer, Clint Eastwood has consistently chosen projects that explore the complex moral landscapes of human behavior, never shying away from difficult questions about justice, revenge, and redemption. His films often challenge audiences to consider multiple perspectives on controversial topics, whether examining the nature of heroism in war films or questioning the mythology of the American West in his later westerns. What sets Eastwood apart from many actor-directors is his efficiency and respect for the collaborative process, earning a reputation for completing films on time and under budget while maintaining the highest artistic standards. At 95, he continues to work with the same passion and dedication that marked his early career. Tippi Hedren, 95 years old. Tippi Hedren's rise from Minnesota model to Hollywood star is one of the industry's most iconic stories. Now 95 years old, she remains best known for her unforgettable work with director Alfred Hitchcock. After moving to California and doing commercial modeling following her divorce from actor Peter Griffith, her life changed when Alfred Hitchcock noticed her in a TV ad. He offered her a 7-year contract and cast her as the lead in The Birds. It was the perfect dream role for any newcomer. The film turned her into a star, but also came with intense demands. Hedren's portrayal of a woman under attack by crazed birds was both fierce and believable, showing she could handle fear, strength, and emotional depth all at once. Her next big role was in Marnie, another Hitchcock film. Here, she played a troubled woman dealing with trauma and crime. Her cool, elegant appearance fit Hitchcock's idea of the perfect leading lady. But Hedren gave her characters more than just beauty. She added intelligence and quiet power. These performances helped define what a Hitchcock heroine looked and felt like on screen. Although her work with Hitchcock remains her most recognized, it also highlights the pressures actors face when working under powerful directors. Hedren's story is about more than just 2 famous films. It shows how an actor can leave a lasting mark while working within someone else's vision. Despite the challenges, she held on to her identity and delivered performances that still captivate audiences today. William Shatner, 94 years old. William's legendary role as Captain James Kirk in Star Trek not only changed his life, it reshaped science fiction forever. From 1966 to 1969, Shatner stood at the helm of the USS Enterprise, portraying a leader who wasn't just brave and commanding, but also deeply thoughtful. He wasn't your typical space captain barking orders. He was someone who questioned morality, explored human nature, and approached every alien encounter with curiosity and intensity. That unique blend of leadership, emotional vulnerability, and occasional dramatic flair became a trademark of Shatner's style. Though often imitated and parodied, the essence of Kirk could never be duplicated. Shatner's performance made sure of that. But William Shatner's story didn't end when the original Star Trek series was canceled. Far from it. He returned to the role in a series of films starting with Star Trek, the motion picture, in 1979, and ending with Star Trek, Generations, in 1994. In each appearance, he brought fresh energy and a deeper understanding of Kirk, showing fans how the character aged, evolved, and ultimately sacrificed himself. Alongside Star Trek, he made a name for himself in other popular roles, such as the tough cop in T.J. Hooker and the delightfully eccentric lawyer Denny Crane in Boston Legal. Even outside of traditional acting, Shatner has never stopped surprising audiences. He's written novels, including Tekwa, which was turned into a TV series. He has released spoken-word music albums that are as strange as they are entertaining. He has hosted shows like Rescue 911 and The Unexplained, where his distinctive voice and presence continue to command attention. And in 2021, at age 90, he became the oldest person to travel to space when he joined Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin flight. Shatner's secret? He never stopped working, never stopped learning, and never stopped enjoying the ride. At 94, William Shatner is more than a television icon. He's living proof that age doesn't have to define ability. With a career that spans more than 7 decades, he continues to inspire, entertain, and challenge expectations. Whether on Earth or among the stars, Shatner reminds us all that there are always new frontiers to explore. Rita Moreno, 93 years old, the achievement of EGOT status, winning Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Awards, represents the pinnacle of entertainment excellence. But for Rita Moreno, these accolades are just markers along a journey that continues to surprise and delight audiences well into her 90s. Her 2023 appearances in both the comedy 80 for Brady and the action's spectacular Fast X demonstrate that age hasn't diminished her ability to command the screen, whether she's playing opposite fellow legends or holding her own in high-octane action sequences. The role that cemented Rita Moreno's place in entertainment history came with her Oscar-winning performance as Anita in the 1961 classic West Side Story, where she brought fire, passion, and heartbreak to Leonard Bernstein and Stephen Sondheim's musical masterpiece. Her return to this material in Steven Spielberg's 2021 remake as Valentina, a role created specifically for her, represented a beautiful full-circle moment, allowing her to pass the torch while staying connected to the work that defined her legacy. But Moreno's career has never been limited to a single triumph. Her early appearances in MGM musicals like The Toast of New Orleans and Singing in the Rain in the 1950s established her as a performer who could handle any musical challenge, while her Grammy Award for Best Children's Album in 1972 and Tony Award for The Ritz in 1975 proved her range across different mediums. Even as she got older, Rita never faded into the background. She took on roles in shows like One Day at a Time, where she played a lively grandmother who brought both humor and wisdom to the screen. She also appeared in the 2021 version of West Side Story, showing that she's still a force in the industry. Rita Moreno's long and successful career shows just how far talent, determination, and heart can take you. At 93, she remains a beloved and respected figure, inspiring younger generations with her unforgettable. And there you have it, living proof that age is no match for true talent. Which of these living legends inspired you the most? Or did we miss someone you think deserves a spot on this list? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.